I think we're going to have some fun with this. Hey folks, welcome back to techgooch. Here with another video review, and this one is on a digital projector. Now this is one from the guys at Tenker, T-E-N-K-E-R. It's just an LED light source mini projector. Mini is a hard way to put it. It is definitely smaller than traditional projectors, as you can see here by the size of it. I do have it plugged in currently. It has, I'm going to get closer here in a minute, it has multiple inputs on the back of it, but what comes with it is the projector itself, the power cord, which is just a non-polarized power cord, a AV adapter that allows it, the AV to go into a 3.5 millimeter plug. It does not come with any HDMI cords, but it does support it. It does support VGA. It does come with a remote control. It does not come with batteries for the remote control, I will say that. And then the cap does come on the projector itself, so you do, if you're in transport, things like that, you're not scratching the lens. Quality projector, not too bad, but I'm going to get a little bit more into that as we get a little bit closer. So let's zoom in real quick and go over the projector itself. Before I bring it in, I want to go over a few of the specifications for this projector. This is the RD805 from Tenker. Native resolution is 800 by 480. It does support full 1080p resolution. It's going to be a little grainier than actual 1080, but it'll actually read it digitally at least. They say between 4.9 and 13.2 feet for throw distance. I found I can actually get as close as about 4 feet. Actually, a little bit less than 4 feet, to be honest. They claim about 50 to 150 inch display, which actually is about right. You can get a little bit smaller than that because, like I said, I can get in closer, more to 4 feet, so it's going to be even more like 43, 46 inch to 150 inch display. But of course, the bigger you go, the darker you're going to want the room, because as you move out, all that light dissipates more and more and more to a larger display. So that's what I want to say. That the throw ratio is 1.4 to 1. So all of that actually can be found if you actually click on that Amazon link. All of it's in there as well. So if you want to have any more additional specifications, they're down there. So let's get a little closer. So if you notice on the deck, I do have a USB stick. This does not come with the projector. This is something of mine, just because one of the things you can do with it, as you can see back here, is there is a USB port on here, and I'm going to demonstrate this here in a moment, that you can actually play media files from USB sticks. The USB stick does have to be properly formatted. I had this formatted in just standard FAT or FAT. I did notice that like exFAT does not work, so it has to be in a traditional FAT format. HDMI, so your HDMI connections. Headphone jack, so that's going to be plugging into any headphones, or if you have like an auxiliary input into like a Bluetooth speaker or a soundbar or whatever, you can plug it into that as well, or into a receiver if you wanted to. AV input, that's where the adapter plugs into. This little red port is the infrared port for the remote control from the back side. And then you have your VGA plug as well. There is an actual hard switch here. If I actually switch this off, it kills all power to the projector altogether. It does have, like I said, just a standard non-polarized power cord. So even if you lose the power cord, it's something that you can easily replace. I think that's a big bonus there in my opinion. There is a light that kind of tells you when the power is supplied, but the power button is not currently on. And then on the bottom, they do have on the front an adjustable foot peg that you can actually control the rise of the projector if you're just setting it on a table like we have right now. And then lastly on the back, this guy right here allows basically, if you have it raised up like this, you'll get a skewed video. Basically the screen will be skewed. This allows you to unskew it. It's a very simple way to do it. Just slide it back and forth. And then also the lens here does go in and out. Basically that's going to adjust the focus depending on how far you are away. So it's very simplistic, but of course for the price, you're not expecting to get this all crazy Epson projector. You're getting what you pay for. It is, but for the money, it actually does a pretty good job, to be honest. So we're going to actually zoom out here a little bit. I'm going to put it up to a small screen here and I can demonstrate at least some of it, and then we'll actually go to the big format to show you what it looks like there. Okay, so I did find real quick that there is a minimum type distance that you'll need to actually stay at least from, and that's about 4 feet. If you're anything less than 4 feet, you'll never get it focused in. So the minimum focal point of this is about 4 feet. So right now, let me zoom out here. Zoomed out as far as it'll go. I can't zoom anymore. So this is about as close as I can get with it maintaining focus. If I go any closer, it'll get out of focus real quick. So I mean, to be honest, it's like 44, 46 inches, somewhere in there is the absolute minimum. Anything closer, though, it won't work. So I'd say about 4 feet. That skew piece down here, if I can show you here, you can kind of see it where it actually just tilts it back and forth. So if you have it tilted up, you can actually adjust for that. If you have it tilted down, you can adjust for that. So all that is getting it set. So when you have it further back and you have it bigger, it's going to make more of a difference than on this smaller type screen here. This is the media center where I actually can play off of the USB stick, but there is mute buttons on here that will actually mute it. You can actually see it up in this right-hand corner, or left-hand corner. There is a source button that I can change between multimedia, AV, HDMI, and VGA, and you're going to see more of that here in a second when I turn the lights off and get it in a lot bigger. But you can see real quick, even at this size, this is not going to be fully enjoyable. It's not a crazy bright projector. You're going to want a dark room, and it is not the highest contrast. This is not a home theater projector. It's not designed to be a home theater projector, but that doesn't mean you can't play movies on it. So what I'm going to show you now is if I was to use this as a, hey, you know what, my kids want to throw a movie on in the toy room or whatever, throw it against even this is a textured wall. This is not a great screen. If you get a actual screen, it's going to look better than it does in this scenario. But I want to show you kind of I'm going to throw it up on the garage. I'm going to throw it up on some white wall that I have painted, you know, just a blank wall. Let's let the kids watch a big movie. They can have fun. That's what this is more of like. This is more of a, I want to throw the computer on there. I want to throw a movie on there. I want to do something quick and easy without worrying about a $500 projector cost. So let's back it up, turn off the lights, and show you what it looks like in more home theater mode. Now I have it set on my wall, a fairly large screen right now. If you actually, in perspective, you're not going to be able to see me very well, but this is me. So the screen is wider than my arms currently, but this is showing my Apple TV. Now, one thing I do want to point out, for any device, whether it's an Apple TV, any streaming device, or a Blu-ray player, whichever, if you have it set, you have to have it set for audio. We go to the settings here, scroll down to audio and video, and I go down to audio output. Right above it, you'll see Dolby Digital is set to off right now on this one, because this does not support Dolby Digital. It's not a home theater projector. You want to make sure that Dolby Digital is off. And now on Apple TV specifically, if you have that turned on whenever you watch a movie or something, it's automatically going to output Dolby Digital, and you will get no audio out of either the small little dinky speaker that's built into the projector or any speaker that you have plugged into it. So that's one thing to keep in mind real quick. But as with any TV, I mean, obviously this is not going to be full high definition. It's going to be a little fuzzy. But to be honest, for what it is, it's pretty awesome. And even if I go, the last movies that I've purchased here, I'm going to actually mute the audio a little bit here. Let's see if I have it muted. It is muted right now. Just to at least get a point across of what it actually looks like using the Apple TV for the quality of the video that you're actually going to get out of this. Even as big of a screen as this is, I'm not going to say it's bad, to be honest. It's actually fairly enjoyable. Now, that said, you're going to want a very dark room. This is not a projector that has a whole lot of contrast. It doesn't have enough light output to really oversaturate, so it can't really do very well in any kind of lit room at all. I have the only light in my room right now is my monitor that's pointing the opposite direction. So I am getting a little bounce off. If I actually turn that off, it'd actually be better yet. But just to at least show, you can see here in the opening credits, it doesn't look bad, to be honest. Maybe I'll fast forward a little bit here. So what does she look like here? So the reds and the darks and the blacks and everything like that. Is it as crystal clear as 4K or, actually watching it on a nice high definition or 4K TV? No, it is not. But it's not designed to be. This is just a multi-use projector, not a home theater projector. So, rather than me getting all crazy with Star Wars there. I just wanted to at least show what the Apple TV would look like on the projector itself. Looks great. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome. Now, getting away from the Apple TV part of it, I'm going to actually go into a different source. If I click on the source on it, let's see if you can see this in the dark. We're going to go down to multimedia. Now, multimedia is the USB connection basically on the projector itself. You can actually plug in a USB stick, USB hard drive, whatever it is, and you'll actually be able to pull files off of that. Now, I've created a couple content for you. It doesn't support a whole lot of different formats. MPEG 1, MPEG 2, MPEG 4. Those are the three big ones. So a lot of the stuff that I have is in MP4, so it was ready to go. However, I did find that if any of the stuff that you have is in MP4 but in a .m4v format, which Apple devices like to automatically output in M4v, that's the Apple format for MP4. It's the same thing. All you got to do is change the extension to MP4 and she works just fine, or MOV, it'll also work. So I'm going to go into movie here, C drive, and then you'll see the four things that I have in here that I can actually play. I have something as simple as, well, let me turn the audio back on. There we go. It'll actually play, if I actually hit the play button on it, it'll actually play in full screen. So my opening scene. And I just have it plugged into my speaker back there, so it's not actually using the speaker that's built into the projector. Whereas if I actually play, let me go back there and I'll unplug the speaker, and we'll do it actually with the internal speaker and see what it sounds different. Okay, so same video, internal speaker. Let me tell you how awesome it sounds. So, the internal speaker is pretty terrible. Yeah, I don't know how well you can hear it with the microphone because it is behind you. But it's nowhere near as good as even the... I'm going to go ahead and mute it again so it doesn't do it again. Nowhere near as good as any kind of speaker you're going to plug into it. So whether it's a Bluetooth speaker or whatever, I just have my Sony XB40 plugged in. Let's see, I'm going to go to a file format that it actually does not support. If I can get it to go over. It's probably hung up on the size of that file. Alright, so this file right here is actually an MPEG 2, an M2TS file. It is unsupported. So this, if you ever have a video file in here that is not supported, it will let you know that. I just wanted to put it in there just for that reason. Okay, so I thought I'd get a little bit better light settings and focus settings on my camera before I actually showed this one as well. So this is the tube video, which is going to be more about the actions. Let me fast forward here a little bit to get to where we're actually moving a little more rapidly. And just to show at least what this looks like. Now, in this, you'll actually notice you're going to lose some of the actual features that you would normally see on a TV, like the face, things like that. If you watch this on a TV, it's a lot brighter. It's, you know, and of course this is a fairly large screen as we have it right here. But for what it is, the action doesn't look too bad. It looks fairly smooth. The projector's not doing a bad job, and you know, not too bad of a video, to be honest. So looks pretty good to me. Now let's maybe fast forward. We'll head over to a movie. So for this demo, this is the Harry Potter movie that I have on there. And I just set the focus to manual because last time I did it was focusing in and out. But this is what it looks like. Is it perfect? No, but this is more of... I just chose this specific movie because I have it in the beginning scene here is very contrasty. A lot of darks and a lot of really fine-tuned stuff and the really low light capability. And that's what I want to show is, what does this look like? Is it great? No, it's not fantastic. There's a lot of blending problems going on here, but for what it is, for, you know, an $85 projector, I can't say bad things about it, to be honest. It's not a $500 projector, and it looks pretty darn good. So that was fun. Anything that I can plug in HDMI, VGA, AV, will work with this projector. And then, of course, you have the USB stick for multimedia files. Now, I did want to point out real quick that I did plug in a speaker directly into the headphone jack out. I'm going to grab that speaker and I'm going to show you what I did. So, this is my Sony XB40, which just has an auxiliary port on the back. Now, this could be any speaker, soundbar, whatever, audio, video system. All you do is have to have the 3.5 aux cord, and you just plug it into the headphone jack back there, and that's it. You do have to make sure that it is sending out a stereo, not a Dolby Digital type signal, because this projector cannot read any kind of Dolby Digital signal at all, like I showed there in the Apple TV footage. But that's how you actually set it up. Now, you probably have noticed in the background the fan noise. It is not quiet. They tell you that, hey, it's a lot quieter than some of the other models, and that may be, but no matter what you say, this is not a quiet fan. That's why it's not a home theater projector. If you're trying to enjoy a movie, that may get annoying. But does it work? Yes, it works. And is it enjoyable? It can be. You know, if you're just having fun with friends and stuff and you're throwing something up and you're not looking for that big, quiet, very rumbly home theater experience, the fan noise isn't going to be that big of a deal, to be honest. But you can actually plug this in and use it that way too. You could. It's just that you're not going to get the most experience out of it. Now, of course, if you had, like in my case, I was plugging in a 3rd gen Apple TV, the one that they don't sell anymore. That 3rd gen does have an optical audio out, so I can actually plug that directly into a full home theater system, whichever, and get Dolby Digital out of it, and then just send the HDMI video feed to Mr. Projector here. Now, the downside is, if I hit mute, the mute thing will show up here at all times, which really gets annoying. So that's something to keep in mind, at least, is that it's not a full home theater projector replacement. If I kick it off, you'll notice that I got a lot quieter. But that is the Tenker projector. I will post links directly to it down in the description. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. For the cost, it's not a bad projector. It really isn't. So definitely check it out. Questions, comments, post below. Subscribe to the video, like the video, share it if you can. But I want to say thanks to all the people out there that have been with me over the years, and I'm going to keep going with more videos, and I got a lot more coming, so hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.